Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Zero from TechDragon.info, and today we're gonna do a very quick video on the M4 Improved. I got this thing from Mizu yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't remember. It's been some hectic days here. No regrowth episode yesterday. We do have a replacement video up that went up today. Take a look. It's quite different. Anywho. I had no knowledge of that video going up. Anywho, like I said, quick look here at the M4 Improved. Should you get it, should you not get it? I'll hopefully be able to answer that. And like I said, I'm gonna do this very quickly because I'm very stressed for time here and I do have to leave here very soon. So I'm gonna record it, encode it, and upload it hopefully within the hour. Yeah, like I said, stretched a little bit thin here for time. So let's take a quick look here. This is a tank in the background here. In short, the armor is better, but not really good enough to hold up against most things. So the armor is really not a selling point of this tank. And you do get a couple of advantages. You get a more powerful engine. Let's take a quick look here. Let's grab this one. Let's put them aside to side. So this is the M4, 460 horsepower versus 640 horsepower. So much better engine, a little bit heavier, and the tank overall is slightly heavier as well. 38 tons versus I think about 30 or so when you get this thing fully decked out, 30 point something, maybe 31. So it's a little bit heavier, but it also gets quite a beefier gun. Turret armor, as you can see here, better frontal armor on the improved version. Side armor is a little bit less, and the rear armor is a little bit less. So frontal a little bit better, but overall the gun mantlet on this thing is much tougher, but also much smaller. So yeah, bit of a trade-off. You have these sides which are auto bounce zones from the front, so you don't have to worry about that. So overall, there's not too much to shoot here that's really low, but it doesn't really offer that much protection. As for the gun, the M4 gets 128 penetration versus 92. Yeah, rate of fire is better at 15 versus 12, so rate of fire is good. Damage, not that much difference between the two. 0.33 and 44 accuracy. Aim time is a little bit better, but it still feels like it's too long for what this gun does. So that is that bit. So what is this thing? Well, it's a slightly more mobile. You'll see here, top speed 48 versus 56, so top speed is better and the engine power is better for a little bit heavier tank, and the bloom is slightly better on the improved version as well as better armor, but 50 hull armor versus, let me turn around, 50 hull armor versus 50, but it's better sloped here than on the M4, so you get better frontal armor, better side armor, 38 versus 63. Let me turn so I can actually see it here. 63. So the side armor is much better, but that is pretty much only this bit underneath the track. This bit here is not much thicker than the M4. I think it's about 40 here versus 38 here, with a little bit of sloping, but it really isn't much better. So minor improvement there. 38 ass armor versus 50. So the ass armor is a bit better on this thing than on the M4. Already went over the turret. View range, well, pretty much the same. Oh, I hate that bug. There we go. So, the M4 improved. Well, let's take a look at some gameplay here. And here we are with some gameplay. Well, like I said, this is not going to be the best game ever. I just try to show off what this thing is capable of, and if you have the T14, it is that gun. It is the exact same gun of the T14, slightly better handling, and no premium matchmaking, and that is a gigantic problem with this tank. 90mm at tier 5 is okay. 90mm against tier 6 already becomes pretty damn iffy. And 90mm against tier 7 is for the most part undoable. Even on rears and sides of tanks, you'll not have a fantastic penetration chance. So, what do I think of this tank? Well, I don't think I would recommend this thing, and I'll tell you why. The armor is definitely better than the M4, no doubt about it, but the gun is so much worse that... managed to bounce some shot there, just hit our tracks, which is good. So you're looking at a tank that has okay acceleration, not great, but okay. Mobility, top speed, you know, is okay, nothing bad about it. For a medium, definitely not too shabby. Trying to shoot the building there just to get a better shot. This guy, nope, don't want to get shot. So this thing can side scrape somewhat. Could put a shot into us, didn't pen. And that's the thing, this M4 improved will have issues killing itself. It's kind of sad, but yeah. So the reason why I don't like this thing is because the carry potential is pretty low in this tank. I was in a couple of games where it pretty much came down to me because my team wasn't doing anything. I might show off one or two of those games that I just couldn't turn into a win. And the aim time on this tank, I don't know why, it's 2.1 seconds, but it feels long. And probably has something to do with the .44 accuracy and the penetration of only 90, where a lot of your shots will either miss or not pen, or, you know, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with this thing. Oh, we get spotted. Now, I thought that it was this Churchill. No, it was this bloody OI experimental. Oh, BT7 shooting us as well. Let's get out of here. Oh, bugger off. Wow. Managed to shoot that one on move. That's a miracle. So, yeah, I'm caught right now. It's like, crap. Churchill behind me. OI experimental in front of me. BT7 in front of me. Crap, this is a bad place. But we have some people in base there. Oh, can't see him. He just fired. Oh, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Finish him off. And he is not looking at me as armor. So the rate of fire is pretty good. Trying to go for a track shot. Sadly, just don't quite have the reload. Trying to go for a track shot again. Still don't track him. Trying to go for his other track. He's looking at me like, Bill. This thing has a good reverse speed though. That I have to say. Reverse speed on this tank is pretty damn good. Depression, 10 degrees, pretty good as well. So it has a lot of upsides. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like the penetration on the gun is a gigantic factor. Now, it is a medium. You do have mobility, so you can go around. But I personally, I don't know about you guys, but I personally prefer tanks with more penetration rather than damage. I'd rather just be able to do damage just than to not pen critical shots that I really need. Now, you could go, let's pause it real quick when we're talking, you could go and go with premium rounds, but that is still one penetration less than the normal M4 Sherman with the 76mm gun, and 5 damage less. So even your premium shells are worse than the normal M4. And that's why I think that this tank is just not quite it. Every other tank that has the same gun gets preferential matchmaking. I don't think there's a single normal tier 5 medium that only gets 90mm penetration and doesn't get special matchmaking. So there's definitely some issues. Now, as you can see here in this game, you can, in a tier 5 game, definitely do damage. And the rate of fire on this gun, as you can see, is not bad. You can definitely put shots in, you can definitely kill people, you can, let's pause it real quick. Actually take a look at this tank as well. And if you want to angle this thing, this is about the angle that you want to angle it towards people. It seems excessively steep, but that is the best angle to take to get the best out of your armor. But even then, you're getting about 90mm of slope, you know, of effective armor at best, if you don't count the turret. So a little bit of a Matrix moment here with planks flying around. So even with that, and I was up against a T-34, T-34, excuse me, the tier 5 Russian medium. And I angled my armor like this at him, and he still was able to penetrate every single shot on me. So, and that thing has pretty bad penetration. So, that's in the 90s as well, I do believe. So, even that, just, the armor, you know, it's better than the M4, but it still hardly protects you against anything. Maybe against tier 4s, maybe against some of the lower tier autoloaders, maybe. But that's about it. Anything equal tier will have no issue with shooting your ass. And look at that HE shell on my ass there from the OI experimental. Sheesh. So the armor really doesn't do that much for you. I've hardly done, you know, had any use for the armor. So the armor is really not a selling point. It's better than the M4. Don't get me wrong, it is. You will bounce more than on the M4, but it still amounts to not enough to effectively do anything for you. And that is kind of a problem, because then you're looking at a slightly more mobile M4 with armor that's better, but functionally not better. At least not against his own tier. Maybe, if you're top tier, maybe. And then you're looking at a gun that's effectively quite a bit worse. So, in accuracy, aim time is a little bit better, but still feels that little bit too slow. And I already have this thing decked out with vents, gun rammer, and gun laying drive for better aim speed. And this is my 3-skilled crew, I do believe. I think they're on the 3rd skill. Or 2, and then at 90%, no, I think it's the 3rd skill. So it's one of my best crews that I have in the game in here. So, with Brothers in Arms, by the way, I might add. Say, have full Brothers in Arms. So, it's just, I don't know. It just doesn't quite feel fun enough, and I feel like the gun is slightly frustrating at times, where you just cannot do what you need to do to carry in this thing, and it has let me down in multiple games where I just couldn't do anything, and the armor didn't really save me at all. Now, I'm not saying you should rely on your armor, but having better armor, I would have at least hoped to be able to bounce something in this thing, and it just doesn't seem to happen. I've done about 20-ish games in this thing now, so, I'm by no means an expert, and like I said, I am in quite a bit of rush here to get this video out before I have to leave, so yeah, I will do a more in-depth video, hopefully at a later point, but I think this thing is only on sale for a couple of days, so I really want to get this video out as soon as I can, and sorry that I don't have any better gameplay in it, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't quite feel like that tank. And the M4, of course, has the derp gun. This thing does not. If this thing had the derp gun, I would have said yes, 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 hell yes. If this thing had a derp gun, it would be a fantastic tank, but with this gun, not so much. Let's take a look at the stats. Here you can see my crew as well. Yeah, it is a 3-skilled crew at 80%, so pretty good. We did 2nd highest damage. I've done a little bit more damage in the game than this. But overall, the results, 5 times experience for bonus event going on right now, and 42,000 credits. So credit potential, not bad. Let's take a look at the stats that I've done so far. I've done a couple more games since this one. Have an okay victory ratio. I'm doing okay in it. It's not like I'm doing bad or poorly in it. It just doesn't quite feel fun to me, which is kind of, for me, an important thing in premium tanks. I don't just play them for making money. I have tier rates for that. It needs to be fun, and this thing just feels, it's hard to put my finger on it. It just falls a little bit shy of being fun. So that's the issue I guess I have with this tank. It's not a horrifically bad tank, but that penetration can be quite frustrating. And even in premium rounds, it's still not great. So there you have it. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.